We welcome to the program Eva Duarte, who has recently opened Dapper, Rascal Studio in downtown Binghamton, conveniently located just steps away from the beautiful Binghamton Now Tower. We're neighbors.
Yes, we are. Right across the street.
Howdy, neighbor.
Good morning, neighbor. Thank you for having me.
Just meeting you for the first time.
Absolutely, yeah.
We've been meaning to have you on the program. I've been told it's the story is interesting. I was excited. I've been very excited to see what the transformation has been with the building directly across from our building here at the intersection of Court and State Streets. A lot has happened over the past year to what used to be a family dollar store, and years ago it was, for quite a while, it was an old Woolworth store.
I actually knew that because I was just curious to know, the history of that building, but Woolworth used to be there.
Yeah.
Ages ago, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just neat to see what's transpired. We have the new restaurant, Dos Rios, and a lot of people have been excited about that. We did a story a few days ago about the plans for a retail location as well as a production facility for Muckles.
Yes.
So lots going on.
Very happy for them.
And you have your Dapper Rascal salon situated right between where Muckles will be and the restaurant. So I am so happy to have you here. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. You didn't grow up in Binghamton. You're a relative newcomer. What brought you to Binghamton?
Well, I am from New York City, Manhattan, born and raised. But Binghamton University brought me to the area. I was a student, a former student, and I stayed around for the community. I love the environment. I love the clientele that I was able to build here. I found a warmth that I didn't find in New York City. And, I'm just a New York State native, but Binghamton kept me.
And what is there about Binghamton that caused you to stay? And we're looking for more stories like this.
Absolutely.
Because so many thousands and thousands of people get educated at Binghamton University, and we know they wind up learning a bit about the Triple Cities community, and some stay, but unfortunately many choose to move on to whether they go back to the city or other places to start their careers. So what were some of the things that you found attractive and convinced you to stay in Binghamton?
I had that question a lot when I was leaving a pretty good place that I was working, a pretty good shop in the Lower East Side. They asked me, why Binghamton? And I always knew that there was an emerging market coming here. I knew that Binghamton had plans to expand. I know that Binghamton University had plans to expand their population as well. But it's also just, I've found it's a great place to do business. I've had so much help from the SBDC program here. I had help from a lot of mentors here. There's just a lot of welcoming for new people that want to stay and do business. So I urge anyone that's looking for a place to start, Binghamton is a place to start. There's a lot of help here. There's a lot of camaraderie, and you're just not another number like you are in New York City. You kind of get drowned out in larger cities. So
well,
that's what
competition in big cities, the competition, no matter where you look, it's fierce, it's vicious.
Yeah, it can be. But here I felt like, people would just welcome me with open arms. There was just a lot of friendliness, a lot of mentorship as well. As the people that are doing business already, like Mr. Ron Queller, who has been such a great help to me, who is my landlord but also owner of Dos Rios and Colonial, amongst others that have been just phenomenal, in mentoring me.
Well, it's been interesting since he acquired the property at 60 Court Street, and initially when I first encountered him and we had our first chats, he gave me a general overview of what he had for the property, which for several years had been a dollar store, and nothing wrong with a family dollar store in Binghamton, and they served of course hundreds and hundreds of people every day with what they offered. But here at this really key intersection of downtown Binghamton, I agreed with what Mr. Queller said, that it seemed that this property was not being used to its potential.
Yeah, it's such an enormous place. Like, I was in there right when they were telling me about the plans and doing the demo and all that, and being told that it was going to separate into 4 different shops. We need more reasons to bring people to the downtown area that are not necessarily for beverages or nightlife entertainment. We want it more busier during the daytime. So giving people shopping options, giving people grooming options. My plans were right in line with the plans that he had. So when I pitched the vision of having a men's barbering grooming lounge in downtown Binghamton, he was all for it. He loved it. He loved the concept of having a place where you can get a hot towel shave, where you could get, a very precise, high-quality haircut, where kids can come in, where older gentlemen could come in. And he liked that I was bringing the New York City Lower East Side flair, kind of Brooklyn-type style, to Court Street.
And that is part of his vision that he's talked about because of the energy that he's experienced before he came to Binghamton, and he sees that place like Binghamton, certainly with the fact that now for most of the year there are thousands of Binghamton University students who call downtown home, so part of that energy is already here, and certainly they need and desire a lot of services, including some things that still aren't available yet.
Right. There's a lot of services. There's a lot of food things, food options that people would like to have. But we wanted to start, me personally, I wanted to start with a barber shop, something new, something where people could go online and book their appointment online, someplace where they felt comfortable, safe. Even women can come in and feel comfortable getting a boy cut or a pixie cut or something like that. There's just so much of a growing population here that it's not being catered to properly, and we just wanted to be part of it and help out with our business now.
Talking with Eva Duarte and the newly opened Dapper Rascal Salon, which opened in July. 5 years ago, did you think you would be operating a business like this?
The concept for this started as a mobile one. I didn't know where exactly I could put it in Binghamton, but I just wanted to be somewhere central. And the idea of having it in Family Dollar, like that central spot, didn't exist back then. So mobile was it, or maybe on BU campus. But I think Ron, when he stepped in and I heard about the place being made there, I knew that I had to put it there. I had to take that opportunity and start my own business. But no, 5 years ago, I didn't think I'd be able to do that. But with persistence, I think it just pays off. It keeps going.
Describe the concept, because it's not your typical. It's not what people, especially a lot of our listeners, would think of the traditional barber shop out in Endicott or Johnson City. This is something special. Right.
So I think the best way for me to describe Dapper Rascal Studio is an environment where you feel comfortable, you feel invited. A lot of clients have told me that they just feel like they found a second home. They just feel that nice energy. Very professional barbers. We have a front desk that will greet you. We have a puppy that'll walk in there and sit on your lap, And our clients really enjoy our services,
And you're not open just say traditional barbershop hours.
No, we're actually open 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day, and on Fridays we have our special where we're open until 11 p.m. So we're giving a little bit of a late night vibe. We'll have music. We'll have DJs come in.
Let's talk a little bit about Friday nights, because when somebody mentioned, Friday nights, they're open, and people love this concept.
Yeah, so we wanted to go a lot with the downtown feel of how students like to go out, after 8 p.m. So we figured, why don't we have that kind of exposure, bright lights, music on. We get people that are going to the restaurants, people going down to the bars, and it's brought in a nice crowd. I remember when we opened up during July Fest, there was a lot of people down in the festival, and they just walked on in, had a good time, Came clients that we probably wouldn't have had before got to see us, and it was a good time. It
does seem just the fact that you discovered or thought about that this is perhaps part of a market, a downtown market that wasn't being adequately served, and so you found a place with this location, and you were able to ultimately execute. Talk about what happened in the months before you opened. I imagine the work that went into finally getting this place off the ground. That must have been a great deal of work. It was probably at times nerve-wracking and very challenging. Actually,
it was quite nerve-wracking, as I may seem in the moment right now, but I found great partners. Siobhan Albin, which was my college housemate. We became partners, and we would work on the business plan initially. Then I found Rafael Diaz, who became a mentor and a investor for me. Sorry, I'm just a little overwhelmed with. I can't believe that this actually came to be. It was my dream for so long to own my own business and to provide the service that I saw was lacking in the area. The way that I started was I didn't have a place to go to get my own haircut. I just didn't feel comfortable in certain places, and then I saw that Binghamton didn't have a place where an older man could feel comfortable being in a shop, as well as a college student feeling he could trust his barber and leave his barber back home.
I am so glad that you have been able to share this and discuss just how this is this is a big thing. It's personal.
Yeah, it is.
Very,
it is
very
quite
important.
a personal story for me. I wanted to create something to make my family proud. I'm the first person in my family to own a business, the youngest as well. So
have your relatives then been able to check the place out since you opened?
No, they're actually coming this Saturday. We're going to have our grand opening party October 6th, this Saturday at 8 p.m. at the studio itself. We're going to have performances. We're going to have our ribbon cutting, champagne toast. So it'll be the first time my family gets to see like the studio that I got to open up for you guys.
You must be excited.
I am. I feel like a little kid, honestly, like seeing my dream come true, seeing people so happy that I was able to bring this to them. I get a lot of love from the community, and I'm happy that I have such a great staff as well. Jason Fiorentino, Sarah Johnson, and Johnny Combs, who are my 3 barbers, ready to serve you guys whenever you decide to come on in. And you can catch us on dapperrascalstudio.com as well.
Eva Duarte, thank you so much for
I appreciate
sharing this story.
Thank you very much.
And I wish you much success.
Thank you.